In today's episode of Value in My Toy Collection, we're going to value some Bratz dolls and all kinds of other toys. Hey everyone, my name's Chris. I'm a full-time beauty pageant director as my career, but in my spare time, I'm a huge toy collector. I've been collecting toys now for over 40 years. You can officially call me a toyaholic. Thanks so much for checking out my YouTube channel. My channel consists mainly of two things: beauty pageants, which I love, and toys, which I love even more. My dream in life has always been to own a toy museum, so it's finally happened. I've bought a building, and now I've got to move this massive collection and value it into the building. We're calling it the Toy Vault because it's an old bank building located in Crystal Springs, Mississippi that actually has two large vaults. So now I'm just going to make a ton of videos and value my toy collection, and then I'm going to make some where I take you shopping with me to thrift stores and flea markets and toy stores to let you see where I find all these goodies. So let's start this episode of Value in My Toy Collection and value some toys. Well, let's jump right in and start valuing some toys. First, we have two of these Bratz Dolls styling heads, and they're worth about $20 each. Then we have a Mycene styling head that's worth about $120 in the box. Really large Chelsea Mycene dolls still in the box. You see I paid $25 for these when they came out. That's how big they are. Worth about $300 now. And then here's the Madison one, and she's also worth about $300. They have this cool Donald Duck Dude Ranch poster, and it's worth about $100, believe it or not. We have these vintage lucite flowers that are amazing. I love these, and they're worth $60 for the set. And then we have this little vintage plant in this wall planter, and it's worth about $20. I love vintage items. Have this big city scene. I love this. I started to sell it, but I'm keeping it. I'm going to put it somewhere in the toy museum. It's worth about $60. Then we have a whole lot of Bratz we've got to get through, and we're going to start with a lot of our loose dolls. Here we have a set of 15 loose Bratz, and when I looked them up on eBay, some at the lowest price would be $15, and some of them went all the way up to like $40. But I'm just going to take the $15 price and say that's about what they're worth. So here we have 15, and they're $15 each, so that'd be $225 we can add to our total. And then we have this sleepover Bratz doll set, and it's worth about $100. It's pretty valuable as well. And then we have this set of little Bratz pets, and it's worth about $20. And then we have this Bratz Genie Magic Vanity set, worth at least $150. A lot of people had it going a lot more than that. And then from 2004, we have this Boys Bratz accessory pack worth about $15. And then we have this Bratz Fashion Party Fever card game, and it's worth about $15 as well. We have another set of 15 loose Bratz dolls. They all have their clothes, they all have their shoes. Minimum, they're worth $15 each, but some of them are worth even more than that. But we'll say 15 dolls times $15. That's about $225 more we can add to our grand total at the end of the video. And then we have a few more. This is a set of 12, and I think this will conclude all of our loose Bratz dolls. But this is 12 dolls, and they're worth $15 each, so that's another $180 we can add to our overall grand total at the end of the video. And at the end, we have a couple boy Bratz there. Have this miniature little styling head. She's worth about $10. Have two Happy Meal toys. They're worth $7 each of the Bratz. And then we have these little bitty tiny figures, and they're worth about $3 each. I started to say 4, but they're 3. Then we have these sets of shoes, and the shoes are worth about $5 a pair. People are always looking for these, and we have 17 pairs of shoes, so that's about $85 more, believe it or not, of just tiny doll shoes. And then we have this large doll. She's a 20th anniversary Chloe doll, and she's worth at least $200. A lot of people had her more than that. We have this Funky Fashion Makeover Bratz, the movie doll, worth at least $150. A lot of people had her more than $150. And we have this really cool Bratz sushi bar. This is great with a lot of little pieces. Most kids tear these open, and that's why they become so valuable. But this one's still in the box. It's worth about $180. All right, then we have this Bratz styling head doll on a star base, and she's worth about $35. We've We've got this baby Bratz doll. I couldn't believe it. She's worth about $50. She's pretty collectible. And then this kid's Bratz doll, she's worth about $20. Then we have all these pair of shoes still in the packages, and they average about $12 each on eBay. So we have 12 packages. No, I'm sorry, we have 7 packages times $12. That's $84 more we can add to our overall grand total. That's a lot for just shoes. And let's see what else we have coming up. We have this little lounge chair from Bratz. It's worth about $18 loose. And then we have this Tokyo, Japan doll worth at least $150. She was a Toys R Us exclusive. And we have this really big Yasmin in the box. She's super tall, and she's worth at least $150. And then we have the African American doll right next to her, loose out of the box, worth about $25. Thought she'd be worth a little bit more than that, but that's what she's going for, about $25. Then we just got these. These are from the My Life doll series. They're from Harry Potter. This is like the greenhouse. It's super big. It's worth about $120 already. And then the Harry Potter Hogsworth Express train, it's worth about $120 as well. But I really think these are going to become a lot more valuable because these are at stores right now. And then we have this 1960s big baby doll in a gingham dress worth about $25. A 1969 Tommy Tell doll worth $20. And then the little doll in the pink and red is worth about $20. I couldn't find her, who she was. Our ceramic girl is worth about $12. And this big old baby, she's worth at least $25. I couldn't find her online anywhere. She could be worth a lot more than that. We have these really cute Avon bottles. These are of little girls. They're from the late 60s or early 70s. They remind me of It's a Small World, kind of. I don't know if they're from that line or not. But we have 11 of these, and we'll say they're worth about $8 each. That'll be worth $88, but some of them are worth more than that. Avon lotion corn bottle and a pineapple bottle worth about $15 each. This is an Avon, but it's just a little jar of flowers that's vintage, worth about $5. This Kissin' Cousins cologne bottle's worth about $15. I don't think they could get away with calling something Kissin' Cousins anymore. The little chair is worth about $12, and the empty bottle's worth $10. I just got these in, but I thought they were awesome. They're from the Ideal Company back in the 60s, but it's Pebbles and Bam Bam. Pebbles box is a little torn, but they're worth about $200 for the set. Then we have some my size Barbies. Both of these are worth about $50 each. And then I just picked this up at Walmart. They were on clearance, but they're the little mystery Stitch blind box figures. And we have 16 of these, and they're worth about $6 each. And then the box itself is worth about $10. It has a little free figure on the front. Then I went to a Goodwill. I got this little car fox. He's worth about $10. And I got this at Walmart on clearance. It's an Anthony doll, probably worth about $10 because we're going to take him out of the box because we already have one. Got this at the Goodwill, a Betty Boop figurine, paid $3. She's worth about $27. And then I got these there. They were $2. They're worth about $6, but they're ginger snaps, but I love the graphics on it. It's so 70s, so I picked them up. And let's see what else. We got these at Walmart on clearance. This is the red Hulk doll, worth about $14. I paid $2 for it. Then the Captain American doll paid $2, and he's worth $12. Random toys. We have the little mini hands like from Donice on Saturday Night Live. They're worth about $8. Still a fake knife from 2010 is worth about $8. My dog had a fit when I did it to her. She thought I'd stabbed her, poor thing. Got these vintage roller skates. They're worth about $20. This little flock deer, he's worth about $5. And then this Berenstain Bears nightlight. It's worth about $5 as well. And we've got some Matchbox cars. I'd say about $2 each for these. So that's about $6 more we can add to our overall grand total at the end of the video. Got a couple Lion King toys. This 1993 rubber figure scene's worth about $12. And these two figures are worth about $10 each. And so is the adult Simba. He's worth about $10 from 1994. And the Viewmaster reels are worth $25. Got a little green headbed for St. Patrick's Day worth about $3. And got this little bottle of poppers for New Year's worth about $2. And then we have a little Casper plastic toy from 1995 worth $15. And here we have some stickers from Kroger's. They're worth about $1. And then we have all these little erasers that are super cute. And we just got a ton of them. And we're going to say the whole set's worth about $10. They make little good pieces for Barbie houses too, like Barbie food. Then we have a 2-page magazine spread we framed up for America's Next Top Model from 2006, worth about $15. And then another double-page set from a magazine for American Express with Ellen DeGeneres, worth about $15. And these are kind of cool. These are old brassiere ads from the 60s. And we framed them up. I think they'll be great in the women's restroom. But these are worth about $10 each. We have 3 of those. So that's another $30 we can add to our overall grand total at the end of the video. Looks like our overall grand total is going to be pretty good for this video. Then I've got these really cute little dish brushes. They're from Everyday Gourmet. And these are all worth about $15 each. And we have 7 of these. So that's $105 we can add. A lot of people collected these because they're just so cute. They almost look like little pageant girls to me. But I've never used them. I just thought that they would be collectible one day. So I just put them on a shelf and just left them there. And now here they are, $15 each. I probably paid $2 or $3 each for them when they came out. And here we have a couple magazine ads. Here is Cher playing Vegas. And this one's worth about $10. And then we have a Celine Dion playing Vegas, worth about $10. This has a fun story. This lady let us clean out her attic in Vicksburg, and I found this 1960s Harlequin girl lithograph worth about $25, and we saved it from just being ruined from a dripping roof. So we saved that little piece of history. We have this perfume line called Harajuku, I believe, and they're crazy expensive. These first 2 are now worth $75 each, and then this one's worth $70. They're so collectible. We have a 1989 Farmer Says C&C worth about $20, and then a C&C for colors and shapes worth $25, and an ice cream set worth $15. And then we've got all kinds of little toys and stuff to go through later. We've got this big King Kong figure. He's worth about $35, but here's my beautiful helper, Daisy. Look at that pretty face. She likes to be near me when I'm making these videos. But here's our King Kong figure. Like I said, he's worth about $35. He's huge. And then from 1999, we have this large Tarzan set worth about $100. I have 3 of these little wood fairies. They're worth about $6 for the set. We'll go through all this little stuff fast. These little vintage clowns are worth about $6 for the set. They're not Fisher Price. They're just knockoffs. I have a Weeble Wobbles bed from 1973. It's worth about $3. And a Weebles car that's worth about $4. Have Mitzi from the Secret Files of Spy Dog, worth about $6. She's hard to find. And then this big blue guy from Fisher Price, he's worth about $5. Filmation from Jim Henson Sesame Street's worth $5. And the little Happy Land man with glasses is worth $3. Got a couple stress balls worth about $1 each. They're not super valuable. And then from Rocket Power, we have Sam from 2002 worth $5. These vintage flat animals are worth about $3 each. Got a little vintage rubber rabbit for an Easter basket worth $2, and Lilo from Lilo and Stitch worth about $5. We have from Puzzle Place Ben, he's worth $6, and a Marty Toy Monster from 1983 worth $10. Have this little snake worth about $2. Hostess cupcake canister worth about $6. Have a Bahamas dolphin worth about $3. And then we have a little Pokemon, he's worth $8. And then we have a Neopets from 2003 worth $10. Have a little set of Halloween goodies worth about $1. And here's a couple more, probably another $1, $2 for all the happy Halloween stuff. And then we have some little Tykes Dollhouse family figures, and these are worth $5 each, and we have 7 of those, so that's $35 more. Loving Family Dad's worth $15, and that Mom is worth $9, and the Sophia the First King is worth $6. We have 2 of these little fake cakes. They're worth about $3 each, and a vintage Where's Waldo Spaghetti-O can worth $10. Have this little King puppet. He's worth about $3, and this Invisible Body Man's worth $10, and the little fairy godmother is worth $5. And there's my pretty helper Daisy asleep watching me. Have these little tight figures. These are worth about $5 each, and this Rub-a-Tub man from the 80s is worth $8. The little pig's worth about $1, and the vintage giraffe is worth about $6. And look who's awake. She wants to see what's going on. Beautiful dog. So pretty. And then we have some Fisher Price little people. We'll say $3 each. Oh, she needs to see these up close and lick my hand. They're worth about $3 each. I'll try my best to do this while she's harassing me, we'll say. Nah, she's just loving on me. From Very Odd Parents, we have the little Vicky figure. She's worth about $5. And from the Barbie Princess doll line, there's a 6-inch doll worth about $8. And a Southwest inflatable airplane worth $6. And these two little Fisher-Price fat people worth $4 each. And Baby Herman from Who Framed Roger Rabbit's worth about $8. And then from 2004, we have a little construction worker worth about $5 from Mattel. And this Castle Boy Wizard worth about $5. Move her hand. Have this little vintage lady. She's worth about $5. And we have a whole stack of these little junior astronaut Piccadilly bibs worth about $12. Now our religious items, I love this, is a desktop confessional still in the box worth about $15. I bought my nephew PJ one of those too. So cute. I think we'll have to put some batteries in it and see what all it says. And then we have a little bendable Jesus figure worth about $2. This is our little religious section. We have this foil picture that's pretty old, probably worth about $5. And then we have some stuff up here on the little table. We have these loose little figures of Noah and Jesus and Mary and Moses. And these are all worth about $5 each, loose. And then we have a different Jesus figure loose. He's worth about $5. Have this assortment of crosses and charms worth about $1 each. This little Jesus charm still in the package is worth about $5. We have the little Saint Rita of Cassia little drops of water figure worth about $15. I think I got her in Europe at one of the little stores. We have this Pope Francis charm. He's worth about $3. Should be more than that. And then this little religious TV set's worth about $8. Got that in Europe as well. A little flea market there. All right, then we have Pope Francis still in the box. He's worth about $40. And then we have the loose version worth about $20. Have this little block someone painted with the church on it, probably worth about $5. And then this Buddy Christ Dogma, it's worth $75 in the box. It went all the way up to $100. That's pretty collectible. I don't even remember getting that, but I thought it was really cute. Have this stained glass church that you put a candle in and it lights up. It's worth about $25. And then we have this vintage Holy Bible. This was actually my mom's, worth about $15. It's from 1964. And then we have this Jesus statue that I bought my dad one year for Christmas. So when he passed away, I got it back, and it's worth about $30. We have this Jesus doll still in the box. He's worth about $50. And then the loose version is worth about $20. And then we have this little angel music box worth about $15. And then we have another loose Jesus doll worth about $20. Have these small figures still in their package. And on eBay, these average about $10 each, believe it or not. And then we have this St. Christopher figure still in the box who's worth $20. Then we have the rest of those small figures still in the package that were $10 each. And this particular set has 6. And we do have all 6. So we had a total of 9 altogether. So that's another $90 we can add to our overall grand total at the end of the video. I'm excited to see how much this adds up to be. We've had a lot of stuff in this video so far. Some more miscellaneous stuff. We have a St. Patrick's Day pin that's worth about $1. This vintage plaque is worth about $1 because it needs such a cleaning. And this one I love, Relax with a snake that's so straight, stressed out, worth about $8. And this little deck of Carnival playing cards is already worth $10. Have a box of bouncy rocks, probably worth about $5 for all of that. But they're pretty cool. And then a couple pictures. Here's Vicki Lawrence as Mama from Mama's Family, and someone made some dolls that look like them. Those are worth about $2 each. And this vintage little cat you hang on the wall is worth about $6. Kind of looks like the Secret Life of Pets poodle. Have these vintage wall calendars from 1972 that are worth about $8 each. I always heard these came from flour bags. I don't know if that's true or not, but they were like a free gift, but they're pretty cool. Had the table we had our religious items on. It's worth about $25. And this vintage toy box we pulled all those little bitty toys out of, it's probably worth about $75. That's from the 70s. And also from the 70s, we have this cool child's lounger aluminum set worth about $30. And there was Daisy looking at it. And I have my Smurf curtains in that room I'm going to take with me, and they're worth about $20. Now let's move on to some board games. We have the Saved by the Bell game, but it has a damaged box, so it's probably only worth about $15. And then we have an NSYNC game, and this is worth about $20. All right, what else we have? Just have a stack of them. We have the American Idol game still in the package, worth $15. A vintage channel surfing game worth about $10. The game that just terrifies me, I don't like this game at all, but the Pie Face Showdown, I'm always scared of that. It's worth about $22. Have a vintage Risk game worth about $22. And then we have a Saturday Night Live Trivial Pursuit game worth about $22. That's for a DVD. Have a Monopoly game worth about $15. And one of the games I loved as a kid, I played this so much, it's from 1975. It's a Payday game. And then we have this one from 1978. It's called Babes in Toyland, and it's worth about $20. From the 60s, we have a vintage Clue game worth about $20. And then the game of life. I have another one of these. I'm not going to value it. I'm going to use that one for parts. And then we have a Clue game. This one's from the 70s, the one I played all the time, worth $20. And a Bobbleopoly worth $15. We have a Jumanji game worth $12. And a Risk and Castle game worth $20. Have a NASCAR Monopoly. It's worth $20. And then we have a Candyland game worth about $30. And then we have Scrabble for juniors. It's worth about $18. And then we have this. This is pretty cool. Storage Wars game. It's worth about $15. I'd like to play that. I like that show. There's my helper Daisy back there. I love her. And then we have the Cheers board game. It's worth about $22. And a Stratego game from 1977 worth $25. I have a bunch of versions of Battleship, what my dad and I played together all the time. And these are from different decades probably, but it was so popular they kept making it. But each of these are worth about $15 each. And we have 3 different games, so that's $45 more to add to our total. Then we have a Fortnite Monopoly worth $20. You know, I've never seen the game Fortnite. And then we have an old vintage Parcheesi game worth about $15. And then a Scotland Yard game. That looks pretty cool. It's worth about $20. Well, with our previous 442 videos of value on my toy collection, our collection was worth $1,090,832. Now with this video, with all of our Bratz dolls and all of our miscellaneous toys, we can add another $6,398 to our total. So that means for episode 443 of Value in My Toy Collection, our brand new total is now $1,097,230. I always wanted to say I had $1 million toy collection, and now I can finally say it. I don't think I'm a millionaire, though. I think I'm more of a toyonaire because it's not actual money. But I'm not a millionaire, seriously. I've just been saving these toys all my life, going to thrift stores and flea markets, garage sales, toy stores, and looking online. And it's just accumulated to that big old total. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos, and I'm putting all the toys online on our Facebook page, and it's called the Toy Vault of Mississippi. So if you haven't subscribed and you like our channel, please do so. So until our next video, we will see you then.